Okay, so my copy of the Grateful Dead Listen to the River St. Louis 71, 72, and 73 box set has just arrived. So let's proceed with the, as always, late arriving unboxing video thereof, shall we? So let's begin. I've already removed the tape from the external box, so let's open this sucker up. Oh, now look at that. Now isn't that cool packaging? Take a look at that. And we open that up, and we have the actual box set itself. Look at that artwork. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. Having successfully found a way to remove this cellophane from the package, here we go. Turn it around. Of course, the back appears to be pretty much the same thing. So let's try to slide this open. Okay. So there's more gorgeous artwork. One thing you have to say about the Grateful Dead is they've always had great artwork, and it appears to be, in this case, to be the same on both sides, front and back. And it looks like we've got several slots here that everything slides out of. So here's one of the shows from 72. Track listing there. As you can see, there's the other show from 72, and it's pretty much the same thing it looks like. Of course, one has most of this material on unofficial releases, shall we say, that one has acquired from the internet. But of course, it's always nice to have the legitimately released and fully remastered and cleaned up versions of the shows. So those are your 3 shows from 72. Put those right there for now. Here we have the booklet that goes along, presumably, with this. Take a look at all the nice artwork again. There's your index page. Now, there's something I did not expect. For those who aren't guitar geeks such as myself, that appears to be a microfrets guitar that Jerry Garcia is playing, and I have never, in 36 years of Grateful Dead fandom almost, have ever seen him playing a microfrets guitar. During the time period that's chronicled on this set, he usually played a massively customized Fender Stratocaster, pre-CBS mid-50s model that Graham Nash gave him, interestingly enough. So this is kind of an unusual sight right there. Microfrets was a company that wasn't around for very long originally, but they made some very interesting instruments. One of which was one model was actually a 6-string bass that was frequently used by Mike Rutherford of Genesis. In fact, one of his double necks that he used during the double neck actually that he used on the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway tour was a mix of a Rickenbacker 12-string and a Microfrets 6-string bass. But enough about Mike Rutherford. There is Phil Lesh, framed between, looks like, Bob Weir and Jerry. And there Phil is playing a Gibson EB bass. EB3, I believe, was the model he used, although his was extensively customized, like many of the instruments that the Grateful Dead used. More photos and text. Well, Keith Gottschall there with assorted other individuals. The Dead on stage in 71. And there's another interesting thing here is, okay, I've seen a couple other photos from, I think, the same show, but take a look at that Les Paul that Jerry's playing. That appears to be a Les Paul Deluxe, one of the models that had the mini humbuckers mounted in what looked to be retrofit mounting rings that were designed to fit into the space of the standard-sized Gibson humbucker cavity, as if to imply that some of the guitars that were put together as deluxes were originally slated to be Les Paul standards, and then somebody came up with some sort of means of mounting the mini humbuckers in this standard-sized humbucker cavity. And there's Phil, shown playing originally it was a Gould Starfire bass, but it was massively customized by the folks at Alembic. And there's Bob Weir playing a Les Paul Custom, I believe. Of course, got to get a good shot of those backline amplifiers. Always loved the early 70s Grateful Dead backline that had the tie-dyed speaker covers. Pigpen, of course, who appears on the show from 71. There's one of the venues, the Fox Theater. More photos of the Dead. Jerry again playing that Les Paul Deluxe, as mentioned before. Bill Kreutzmann. Phil Lesh with a very nice shot of the Godfather Gould/Alembic bass. Look at all those controls. There's Weir again with his Les Paul Custom. Some advertising for the shows. And we've got Jerry, Donna, and there's Weir playing an SG Standard, an early one with the sideways working tremolo system that nobody likes. Tickets. Now we see Jerry playing the Alligator, the Strat previously mentioned that he usually used during this era. There's Weir with his Gibson ESP 45. There's some of the backline amps again. Look at those beautiful covers. Bill Kreutzmann. There's Donna Jean again, and Keith. And there's Phil, still playing the Gould/Alembic bass. And now we have some photos from 1973. Very obviously to note, because here's Jerry with playing his Doug Irwin Wolf guitar before it gained the Wolf's decal that he put behind the tailpiece, in which Irwin eventually turned into a inlay. Very early performance with that guitar. More advertising. That would presumably be Kiel Auditorium, however it's pronounced. More tickets. There's Bobby, Donna Jean, and Jerry. Donna Jean looks like she just got back from opera practice there. Here's a nice photo of the band on stage, apparently. There's Jerry again, playing a Les Paul, I would guess. Maybe the Les Paul Deluxe shown in on the other photos. Some of the road crew with, I believe that's Donna Jean again. There's Kreutzmann again. Some of these faces I sort of recognize, but for the purposes of this, we're gonna. Some of the road crew guys I could probably identify if I looked at the photo captions, but for the moment, we're just going to look at what we've got here. More nice artwork there. Donna Jean on stage again with Weir behind her, playing the SG. There's Keith. Always seemed like Keith always looked like he was in a bad mood. There's Jerry again with the wolf again. Now we have a photo of Jerry apparently playing a stock Stratocaster. This photo might be from 1972 because there were a string of shows in the middle of 72, including the legendary Bonita, Oregon show commemorated on the Sunshine Daydream film and CD release, where he played possibly that same guitar. And that presumably, given the text there, is the legendary Augustus Owsley Stanley III, known to many of us as Bear, the man who instigated the habit of the Grateful Dead recording all of their shows back in the late 60s. There's Phil again with the Guild/Alembic bass. And look at that array of amplifiers behind him. More text, more beautiful artwork. Here's the band on stage. They always had pretty girls dancing on stage with them sometimes. And it looks like this is just the track listing for everything. Yep. Ooh, look at that. A nice little sticker. So that's the book that comes with it. Now let's see, what else have we got here. Ooh, now this is interesting. What kind of superfluous junk have we got in here? Looks like we've got a patch, which my mom would probably be happy to put on something for me if she was still around to do it. Looks like a bumper sticker. And some type of cloth thing, like a bandana maybe. But one suspects that's just... Do we want to unfold this right now and see what it is, what it looks like? Yeah. Yes, that appears to be the same artwork that's on some of the CDs. Aha. Wasn't that nice? I've got to fold it over still. Well, you can sort of see what it looks like there. Anyway, put that aside for the moment. And what else do we have here? Looks like what's in these see if we can. Okay. And these would be the shows from 71, which traditionally is not my favorite period for the Grateful Dead, because for a lot of that year they kind of went back to being kind of a bar band, if you will. But here perhaps there's some music that might be interesting to correct that opinion. We'll see. And we have, it looks like, and then finally we've got the two shows from 73 right here, from 30th and the 29th, I believe they were. Or was it the 30th? Yeah, the 30th and the 29th. Or should that be the 29th and the 30th? And all right. There you go. So that's the entire box set of Listen to the River, St. Louis 71, 72, and 73. Doesn't seem to be anything else in the box. So thank you for allowing me to waste a few minutes of your time watching this. And, have fun. See you later, kids.